Now you might be thinking, how cool would it be if, for this short video about improvisation and zero prep game mastering, if it was completely unscripted? That would be cool, and I am going to riff about a completely improvised encounter I ran for my players that was super fun. But to say any of this is completely unscripted and improvised would be a lie. Pause for dramatic effect and music. But the real lesson here is that, forget D&D, nothing in life is truly zero prep. Every get-rich-quick guru and every improv genius worked for years developing their skills and mastering different tools. So we are going to talk about two of my favorite tools for lazy dungeon mastering that, with practice, can make GMing drastically easier and make the game more fun for everyone at the table. Because I'm Bob, this is where we learn how to have more fun playing RPGs together, and tool number one, you know 'em, you love 'em.
Tables.
Sidebar, I know I don't usually do a lot of hard cut to clip from TV or a movie, but it's like the only clip ever with a guy yelling about tables.
Just tables!
Now, if you already know the wonders of a good random table or chart, please comment below with some of your favorite books or other sources for them. I'll share mine in a minute. However, I know many of you might be like the confused students in that goofy skit, not yet grasping the true significance of
tables!
So here it is, loud and clear. Whether used for prep or in the moment during your game, random tables are the original ChatGPT. Just like any artificial intelligence assistant, random tables are not necessarily going to give you a perfect result, but they do provide a foundation of ideas that your amazingly creative human brain can quickly turn into something that is actually useful and fun. And the best part, random tables don't require an internet connection, a paid subscription, vast amounts of water and electricity, piles of questionably sourced copyrighted materials, and they're not eroding our entire educational system. But speaking of questionably sourced copyrighted materials, here's a pile of my favorite RPG resources for random tables that I love using to regurgitate ideas for my players. Need to randomly generate a dungeon? I'm grabbing Shadowdark. Need to make a totally unique dragon or magic item? I'm grabbing DCC, baby. Need to introduce a one-dimensional female character? That's Gary's DMG every time. But if I need rich, story-driven details for an NPC or even a player character, for that, why don't we test out today's sponsor, the Game Master's Compendium of Explosive Creation. Starting from scratch, D100 for a random occupation.
But what is the generic job?
Table!
Okay, that's enough with the skit thing. A random occupation like fortune teller on page 61. Next, by rolling each of our main polyhedral dice, love that method, we know this character's goal, call to adventure, potential growth over the campaign, a friendly faction, an ally, and a special item. All fun ideas for us GMs and our players to weave together. And with a few more dice, we got a rival, an opposing faction, an enticing plot hook, and more broadly, some kind of monster, and a location related to this character. And 7 more D100 tables, including unique physical characteristics, personality traits, questions for you to fill in the gaps, as well as book titles, dungeon features, wilderness features, and maybe my favorite here, D100 ways to deliver information. Overall, it's another great tool, and it helps you tie characters to the game world in a meaningful way. So when your PCs interact with them, it can have ripple effects through the campaign. No kidding, giving one random NPC a little extra detail is exactly how my players ended up creating the main quest of my Scrim campaign. But today, you can get the GM's Compendium of Explosive Creation on DriveThruRPG through my affiliate link down in the description. And yes, another time I'll tell the story of how my players created our campaign's plot, merely based on some people and places I rolled up using my little Scrim booklet with my own random.
I can't know how to hear any more about tables.
But for now, I want to tell you about my favorite improvisational GM tool via the wonderful story of perhaps my best improvised encounter. Certainly the improvised encounter that my players seemed to get the most enjoyment out of at the time. To set the scene, in the heart of Scrim's rolling and wild plains lies the walled city of Caerwytham. But beneath that bastion of safety is where we find our party, traversing a dangerous and toxic tunnel system known colloquially as the Tubes. The Tubes. Rivers of raw sewage, mutated turtle ninjas, monsters, and the reason they've come. The city's literally underground fight club. Which of course you're not supposed to tell anyone about, but the party had previously bribed some random street thug for information, and he told him where to go. Then suddenly, after the party had fought some mutants and finally started following the marked bricks toward the secret fight club, one of my players asked, "Oh, have I noticed any secret doors down here?" Now, that might sound like an odd question from a player, because automatically noticing secret doors is kind of the opposite of the point of secret doors, but in the game we were playing, Dungeon Crawl Classics, Elven player characters have a special feature called Heightened Senses, which not only gives them a bonus when searching for secret doors, but also, and I quote, "when simply passing within 10 feet of a secret door, elves are entitled to a check to detect it." And in this narrow tunnel system, that left me as the GM with a dilemma. A player obviously thinks it would be fun to find a secret door down here, and there's a precedent for it because the party previously found a secret passage in a manor house that led down into the Tubes, but I did not map these sewers at all, and I had no plans for a hidden passage on their way to the fight club. But hey, I figured, we'll just let the dice decide. Particularly, my other favorite GM tool for improv, the yes, no die. So, have you noticed a secret door? Yes. Oh, nice. Is it locked? Give it a push and... yeah, the door does not budge. At this point, the thief unlocks it, checks for traps, and... no, there are none. So they open the door. I decided there's a stone staircase behind it leading up to a ladder, which leads up to a hatch. And at this point, I really needed to decide, where the heck are they going? So I asked for a D100 roll and compared the result to my list of all the locations in the city. And I'm pretty sure I had them re-roll once because the first result was a farm or something that's technically outside the city and it wouldn't have made sense. Again, random tables don't always give you perfect answers. And they could have ended up in the Queen's Castle for all I knew. We were all discovering this together. But it turns out they just found a secret passage between the Tubes and the back room of Swift's Couriers, basically the city's post office. As the GM, this secret delivery passage kinda makes sense for the post office, so I'm happy with it, and my players didn't know it quite yet, but I knew they'd be happy with this result, because they're playing a bunch of maniacs in this campaign, and this means they might finally get to commit mail fraud. So they proceed, and the dice tell us the hatch is unlocked, no traps, but the thief hears 2 voices on the other side and a lot of busy movement. And for no other reason but curiosity, needing to know where this will all end up, they keep prying for information. This time it's the wizard who sends their familiar, a big tarantula, to creep up into the room to figure out where they are, then eavesdrop on these workers, and finally they hear these rumors about how packages have been going missing while en route to their destination. A quest hook I had previously worked out for this place when making that list of every location in the city. But of course, the players immediately ignore that quest hook and proceed to spend the next 15 or so minutes plotting how they can steal a bunch of these packages. Eventually, they decide to summon a swarm of bats, apparently up out of the Tubes, scaring away the workers so they can bust in, hastily toss a few random packages down the ladder, and get the heck out of there. Then I just decided that there was one package for each of them to open, and I randomly rolled on my loot tables for the contents of each package. They found mostly mundane stuff, of course. I think one of the packages was another ladder, which is always the funniest random item, by the way, because it never technically fits where it's supposed to have been looted from. But one of the items turned out to be a rare artifact of ancient advanced technology. I'll save you the mysterious description and just tell you that my players chose to call this device the iPad. Naturally, they asked who was supposed to receive this weird package, so I rolled on a random name table, Palamabron, and decided that's Lord Palamabron to you, but uh-oh guys, you better get out of here or you're gonna miss the opening bout at the Fight Club tonight. So was that entire encounter, loot and all, improvised simply because one player asked about secret doors? Yeah, but the reason that zero prep encounter worked so well for me is because I had already invested a freakish amount of time creating all my own tables. I've been GMing for like 10 years at this point, and my players clearly enjoy going down a rabbit hole of chaotic shenanigans. The point is, anyone can have these moments of epic improvisation, but it takes the right tools, practice, and trust among your game group. So if you agree, please give this video a thumbs up, then head over to DriveThruRPG for the GM's Compendium of Explosive Creation, and maybe scrim while you're over there. Huge thanks to my patrons for making all this possible, and keep building.